What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Marty coming to you with another video. Here to talk about the Transformers' newest movie, Transformers 1. Now, before we get into it, if y'all could please leave a like and subscribe, that'd mean a lot to me. Thank you guys for watching my videos. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And now, let's go ahead and talk about the movie. Now, Transformers 1 is actually a prequel to the Transformers franchise, you know, the live-action adaptations that we know and love. And this is actually set way back when, back in Cybertron, where Cybertron is actually not alive yet. It stars Brian Tyree Henry as D16, who we all know turns into the evil Megatron, and also Chris Hemsworth, who plays Orion Pax, who we all know turns into famous Optimus Prime. Other noticeable cast is also Keegan-Michael Key as Bumblebee. We also have Scarlett Johansson, who I forgot the name of her character. We also have John Hamm, Steve Buscemi as Starscream, and also the person who is in a couple of Keanu Reeves movies. He is a person who teaches Neo everything, and also the person who also helps John Wick, and I'll link his name right here in the video. And I gotta say, every one of those casts honestly stood out. I feel like they all were cast perfectly. I did have some second thoughts with Chris Hemsworth as Optimus Prime, and also Brian Tyree Henry, but after watching this movie, like I said, each and every cast was just casted perfectly. With both Brian Tyree Henry and also Chris Hemsworth voicing these iconic roles, knowing that it's a prequel, it's amazing that they didn't have to try and be those voices that we know and love today. And so they definitely made it their own thing. And eventually, towards the end, you know, when they turn into their respective roles, you start hearing like Peter Cullen for Optimus Prime, and there's also like a couple scenes too where you hear Megatron's voice. I'm not sure the voice actor on that and who's notorious, but to me, I definitely know and recognize the voice, especially from the Michael Bay movies, that Megatron iteration. So a couple times I actually heard that iteration voice come out of Brian Tyree Henry close to the end, but it was cool, like I said, that they were able to make it their own thing, you know, their own flavor, their own character, right up until they turned into those iconic voice roles that we know now. But this movie, man, this movie is something truly special. I feel like it's probably gonna be the best animated movie of the year. And that says a lot because Pixar's Inside Out 2 released this year. And I gotta say, I wish it would have hit harder, Inside Out 2. And I know there were some amazing depictions, obviously, with anxiety and joy, as you know, as older you get. And it did hit hard, but I just wish I would have felt more emotional towards it. You know, I was able to hold back my tears just one time. But watching this movie, I watched it with my 10-year-old, and we both equally loved it. But there was just something about this movie, man. I wanted to tear up twice, but I'm like, no, my son's here, I cannot cry. But twice I held back tears, man. I don't know, I just truly love this movie. So the story is that D16 and Orion Pax are miners. They're trying to get like Cybertron off the ground because right now it's shut off. And they have this fearless leader, Sentinel Prime, I believe voiced by John Hamm. And you know, he's doing everything he can in his power to try to get Cybertron, you know, up and running. But when Orion Pax and D16 find out the ugly truth behind that, that's when things turn. Orion Pax just wants to be more than meets the eye. And so all the things he does kind of leads into the adventure of this movie, and it leads us to finding out the truth behind Sentinel's Prime, his motive. And we find out that he actually like has a secret deal with I'm not sure who the villains are or the name of them, but you know, he gives away his power and stuff to these villains, and he's just, you know, lying to the whole town or city of a whole planet, sorry, is Cybertron. D16 is truly heartbroken because he worships him, like truly worships him. And that's how you start seeing the turn into the villainous Megatron. We find out that Sentinel Prime actually betrayed a group of 6 primes, and it's up to Orion Pax, D16, B, and also Scarlett Johansson's character to take him down. Orion Pax actually finds a location to the MacGuffin, and so once they get to the MacGuffin cave, that's where they find they find all 6 primes dead, but one of them happens to still be alive because of his spark. And so they're able to bring him back momentarily before, before the bad guys get to him. And they're able to bring him back, and he tells them what has happened. Sentinel Prime betrayed them, and then he gives all of the group of four their sparks, so they're able to become Transformers. From there on out, they escape the bad guys, and that's when they run into like those bad guys that we know, the Shockwave. Starscream, played wonderfully by Steve Buscemi. Oh man, talk about another perfect casting. And then, at that point, D16, because obviously, like I said, he believed this guy. He was so faithful and loyal to Sentinel Prime. He's truly heartbroken. You see him start turning, and we see him beat Starscream, who at that time happens to be the leader of the, like, I guess they're rebels or something. And so he ends up leading everyone. And from there, they carry out an attack on Sentinel Prime, and they're able to bring down him and his foes. And like I said, the turn with Brian Tyree Henry D16, oh my God, it's just the speech he gives. It's really moving. It's powerful. And you also have Orient Pax, trying to stop the assassination of Sentinel Prime, because obviously he wants him to go to jail or rot in jail forever instead of killing the guy. And so there was a couple attempts, and basically right before D16 shoots Sentinel Prime, Orient Pax gets in the way and he gets blasted. And so throughout the movie, it's funny, like I said, the character of Orient Pax, he's this adventurous guy. He's always getting D16 into his trouble, and also trying to help him out of trouble as well. And so he has that moment where he kind of reverts back to D16 because Orient Pax is about to fall right into the core. And it's like a Lion King, a Lion King moment where he grabs him and just like, no, why would you? And then he like stops and he's like, I'm done saving you. And then he just lets him go right into the core. And I'm getting chills just thinking about it right now. And so from there, D16 assassinates Sentinel Prime. He takes his little like the core, the thing from his, the heart that he took over from one of the Sentinels, who's actually like a person that D16 also loved as well from the Primes. And he takes it from him and he puts it in himself, and then that's when he becomes Megatron. And so we also see Orient Pax falling into the core, and then he gets summoned by the Six Primes, and that's when they gave him the MacGuffin that they looked for earlier, but also now turn him into Optimus Prime. And it was really neat, the parallelism that was going on between the shots. It was going back and forth to D16 and Orient Pax turning. And yeah, once Optimus Prime rises out from the core, it's just so badass. So when they first transformed, obviously they all got bigger, but once D16 put the core from Sentinel Prime, and also once Orient Pax turned into Optimus Prime, they all got even larger, and then shaped into the characters that we know now. All hell breaks loose once Optimus Prime gets on land, and he's like shooting all those bad guys who were also turning, following Megatron. And he's also able to defeat Megatron, and he just tells him to go and never come back, and he tells him, you betrayed me. And it's like, all these moments and speeches, and just the relationship that Orient Pax had with D16 is just, it's just truly amazing. And you feel it. Once Megatron is defeated, the movie basically ends. You have Optimus Prime, who's going to rebuild the Sentinel Primes, that area that they were living in, and they're able to get Cybertron up and running. And you have Megatron, who's now leading that crew. And now they are called Decepticons, because in a post-credit scene, he does say, Decepticons, rise! And yeah, I cannot wait for a sequel. It didn't really like connect to the first Transformers movie. Like I said, I know this is a prequel to that, but I feel like they still have enough room where they can tell like a couple more stories right before they get into the first Michael Bay Transformers movie. And I hope so, because like I said, this movie was truly amazing. The characters, the relationship between them, each character that we saw had a motive, had a backstory, and that we all felt for. There was no humans in this, obviously, so maybe that's the problem in the live action movies, man. These humans, you know, we got Sam Witwicky over here and Marky Mark Wahlberg. But not only that, it was also the CGI, the animation just looks so beautiful. The action scenes were amazing. It just everything worked. I haven't stopped thinking about this movie, so I hope to go see it a second time. This gets a 10 out of 10 for me. I hope you guys can see this movie, or you know, maybe I persuade you a little bit, because this movie is definitely worth checking out. It's definitely worth buying on 4K whenever it comes out. It's definitely worth watching on streaming the first day it releases, hopefully after you've already seen it in movie theaters, because obviously, come on, we can't let the movie theaters die. So check it out in theaters first and then streaming. But I understand with the movie theaters, man. So if you're able to see it that first day it comes out on streaming, I believe Paramount Plus, then you need to. You need to. If you also got your ticket to Transformers 1 the first day it came out in theaters, you were able to get this Sonic 3 poster, you know, Shadow, aka Keanu Reeves. Just look how beautiful this is, y'all. Like, I had to go just to pick this up. I mean, this movie was obviously amazing and worth it and a plus, but just this poster, having this poster, like, come on, this is a no-brainer, man. We had to get this right here. But that is my review, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And like I said, go watch Transformers 1. You will not regret it, I promise you. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Like and subscribe, please. Thank you guys again. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.